Good morning, devotees. Today we will listen to Srila Prabhupada give class on this verse.
Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanasati Yamuna Tira Vanasati Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Acharya Sutta Sadasama Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Gaudi Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Ramacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sam Kunda Radha Kunda Girivardhan ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadvip Dham ki jai. Ganga Mai ki jai. Tulasi Devi ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Samveda Bhaktivinoda ki jai. All glories to the All glories to the Thank you very much.
Second chapter, 5th verse. Tirani, Tim, Pati, Na, Sanji, Ishanji, Diksha, Naivang Gripa, Parivrita, Saritopi, Ashushan, Rudha, Guha, Kim, Ajito, Avati, Lopasana, Kasma, Bhajanti, Kavayo, Dhana, Gurmadandha, Chirani Kim Pati Nasanti, Ishanti Bhiksham, Naivang Ripa Parivrita, Saritopya Shushyan, Rudha Gudhakim, Ajitovati Nopasana, Kasmad Bhajanti Kavayo, Dhanadurmadandha, Chirani Kim Pati Nasanti, Dishanti Bhiksha, Naivang Ripa Parivrita, Sarito Vyashushan, Rudha Guhakim, Ajitovati Nopasana, Kasmad Bhajanti Kavayo, Dhanadurmadandha, Chirani Kim Pati Nasanti, Dishanti Bhiksha, Naivang Ripa Parivrita, Saritopya Shushyan, Rudha Guhakim, Ajitovati Nopasana.
It is Parivrita or Paravrita? Paravrita, not Pari. Yes. Not Pari, Para.
Sorry, devotees. I was thinking we will read the purport, but I think they are going to recite the verse for a few more minutes and then we'll read the purport.
Torn clothes. Kim, weather. Hati, on the road. Na, not. Sanji, there is. Hishandi, given charity. Diksha, alms. Na, not. Eva, also. Angrita, the trees. Parabhrata, one who maintains others. Saritaha, the rivers. Api, also. Ashushan, have dried up. Rudha, closed. Guha, caves. Kim, weather. Ajitaha, the Almighty Lord. Avati, gives protection. Na, not. Upasanan, the surrendered souls. Kasmat, what for then? Hajanti, flatters. Kavayaha, the learned. Dhana, wealth. Durmada andhan, too intoxicated by. Are there no torn clothes lying on the common road? Do the trees which exist for maintaining others no longer give alms and charity? Do the rivers, being dried up, no longer supply water to the thirsty? Are the caves of the mountains now closed? Or above all, does the Almighty Lord not protect the fully surrendered souls? Why then do the learned sages go to flatter those who are intoxicated by hard-earned wealth?
Would anybody like to read the purport? Okay, I'll read it then. The renounced order of life is never meant for begging or living at the cost of others as a parasite. According to the dictionary, a parasite is a sycophant who lives at the cost of society without making any contribution to that society. The renounced order is meant for contributing something substantial to society and not depending on the earnings of the householders. On the contrary, acceptance of alms from the householders by the bona fide mendicant is an opportunity afforded by the saint for the tangible benefit of the donor. In the Sanatana Dharma institution, alms giving to the mendicant is part of a householder's duty, and it is advised in the scriptures that the householders should treat the mendicants as their family children and should provide them with food, clothing, etc., without being asked. Pseudo-mendicants, therefore, should not take advantage of the charitable disposition of the faithful householders. The first duty of a person in the renounced order of life is to contribute some literary work for the benefit of the human being in order to give him realized direction towards self-realization. Amongst the other duties in the renounced order of life of Srila Sanatana, Srila Rupa, and the other Goswamis of Vrindavan, the foremost duty discharged by them was to hold learned discourses amongst themselves at Seva Kunj, Vrindavan, the spot where Sri Radha Damodar temple was established by Srila Jiva Goswami and where the actual Samadhi tombs of Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Jiva Goswami are laid. For the benefit of all in human society, they left behind them immense literatures of transcendental importance. Similarly, all the acharyas who voluntarily accepted the renounced order of life aimed at benefiting human society and not at living a comfortable or irresponsible life at the cost of others. However, those who cannot give any contribution should not go to the householders for food, for such mendicants asking bread from the householders are an insult to the highest order. Sukadev Goswami gave this warning especially for those mendicants who adopt this line of profession to solve their economic problems. Such mendicants are in abundance in the age of Kali. When a man becomes a mendicant willfully or by circumstances, he must be of firm faith and conviction that the Supreme Lord is the maintainer of all living beings everywhere in the universe. Why then would he neglect the maintenance of a surrendered soul who is 10% engaged in the service of the Lord? A common master looks to the necessities of his servant. So how much more would the all-powerful, all-opulent Supreme Lord look after the necessities of life for a fully surrendered soul? The general rule is that a mendicant devotee will accept a simple small loincloth without asking anyone to give it in charity. He simply salvages it from the rejected torn cloth thrown in the street. When he is hungry, he may go to a magnanimous tree which drops fruits. And when he is thirsty, water from the flowing river. He does not require to live in a comfortable house, but should find a cave in the hills and not be afraid of jungle animals, keeping faith in God, who lives in everyone's heart. The Lord may dictate to tigers and other jungle animals not to disturb his devotee. Haridas Thakur, a great devotee of Lord Sri Chaitanya, used to live in such a cave, and by chance a great venomous snake was a co-partner of the cave. Some admirer of Thakur Haridas who had to visit the Thakur every day feared the snake and suggested that the Thakur leave that place. Because his devotees were afraid of the snake and they were regularly visiting the cave, Thakur Haridas agreed to the proposal on their account. But as soon as this was settled, the snake actually crawled out of its hole in the cave before everyone present and left the cave for good. By the dictation of the Lord, who lived also within the heart of the snake gave preference to Haridas and decided to leave the place and not disturb him. So this is a tangible example of how the Lord gives protection to a bona fide devotee like Thakur Haridas. According to the regulations of the Sanatan Dharma institution, one is trained from the beginning to depend fully on the protection of the Lord in all circumstances. The path of renunciation is recommended for acceptance by one who is fully accomplished and fully purified in his existence. This stage is described also in the Bhagavad Gita 16.5 as Devi Sampat. A human being is required to accumulate Devi Sampat or spiritual assets. Otherwise, the next alternative, Asuri Sampat or material assets, will overcome him disproportionately, and thus one will be forced into the entanglement of different miseries of the material world. A sannyasi should always live alone, without company, and he must be fearless. He should never be afraid of living alone, although he is never alone. The Lord is residing in everyone's heart, and unless one is purified by the prescribed process, one will feel that he is alone. But a man in the renounced order of life must be purified by the process. Thus, he will feel the presence of the Lord everywhere and will have nothing to fear, such as being without any company. Everyone can become a fearless and honest person if his very existence is purified by discharging the prescribed duty for each and every order of life. One can become fixed in one's prescribed duty by faithful oral reception of Vedic instructions and assimilation of the essence of Vedic knowledge by devotional service to the Lord. So we'll continue now with listening to Srila Prabhupada.
Chirani king pathina santi disanti bhiksha Naivang gripa paravita sarito pasusyan rudhya guha kimajito batino pasanya kasmad bhajanti kabayu dhanadurmadhan. So, Sukadeva Goswami was in renounced order of life from the very beginning of his life. As soon as he came out of the womb of his mother, he immediately left home. He was within the womb of his mother for 16 years. So, he was in favor of renounced order of life. Sukadeva Goswami. There was no question of his following the other ashramas. Generally, for ordinary man, there are 4 ashramas, 8 ashramas. For social upkeep, there are 4 ashramas, namely brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyas. This is for spiritual. And for social, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. This is social division. And there is spiritual division also, because we are combination of matter and spirit. I am the soul. I am living within this material body. This is actual position. I am not this body. This is the beginning of spiritual education. That I am not this body. One who understands fully, well, that he is not this body, then the spiritual education begins. And so long we are in the bodily concept of life, there is no question of spiritual education. Spiritual education for whom? For the human being. Also very advanced human being, not ordinary human being. At least the civilized human being. Therefore, in the human society, in the civilized human society, there is acceptance of a religious principle. Maybe it is Hindu religion or Muslim religion or Christian religion or Buddha religion, but there is some religion. A civilized society is not without religion. Without religion means animal society. The animals, they have no religion. Cats and dogs, they have no church, no temple that they have to go. It is for the human being. Therefore, Shastra says that dharmena hina pasubhi samana. If in the human society there is no culture of religion, then it is animal society. There is not human society. So the human society should be divided into 8 divisions. That is first class human society. Just like any organization, any establishment, there are division of labor. The directing board of directors there are, then the secretarial board, then ordinary clerks, then menials, then workers. There must be division. Otherwise it's chaotic. Nowhere you will find without division it is going on very smoothly. There must be division. Therefore, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvarnam maya sistam gunakarma vibhagasa. It is ordained by God that there should be 4 divisions for the materialistic condition of life and 4 divisions for spiritual upliftment. So, there must be the Brahmana, Chaturvarna Maya system. Varna means 4 divisions of society. Varna means class. It has been taken now as caste, but actually class. Class is not caste. Caste, of course, throughout the whole world, there is no such thing as caste. But anyway, in India there is caste. But Krishna says that Chaturvarnam Maya system, 4 divisions of classes, I have created. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Who is a Brahman? That is also described in the Bhagavad Gita. Sattva, Sama, Dhamma, Titikha, Arjava, Astikam, Jnanam, Vijnanam. So many qualifications required to become a Brahmana. Not that because I am born in a Brahmana family. This is discussed in Srimad Bhagavatam, that to take birth in a Brahmana family is not all. He must be qualified. Samadhamatitikha. That is equal. The Indian culture has failed at the present moment because instead of considering the qualification, they accept only the birth. The birth in a Brahman family makes a man a Brahmin. No, that is not the Shastric injunction. Qualification, there must be qualification. So, without such division, therefore there is no such thing as Hindu Dharma. No, there is no such word in the whole Vedic literature. You won't find in the Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavad as Hindu Dharma. There is one word as Bhagavad Dharma. But there is no such word as Hindu Dharma. This Hindu Dharma or Hindu, this is creation by our neighbor, Indian neighbor, the Middle East Mohammedans. They gave the name Indian people as Hindu. Hindu means there is one river, Sindhu. The Mohammedans, they pronounce Sa as Ho. So those who are on the river side of the Sindhu river, Hindu river, they are called Hindus. But actually, Vedic religion is neither for Hindus, nor for Christians, nor for... It is meant for the human being. Vedic literature. So, in the Vedic literature, this Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, they are Vedic literature. So, there is injunction for observing the rules and regulations of Varna and Ashram. 4 classes and 4 ashrama. Ashrama means where spiritual cultivation is practiced. That is called ashrama. So, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha and sannyas. So, chaturvarna and chatur ashram, material and spiritual. So, sannyasi is supposed to be on the topmost of the human society. Chaturvarna, first 4 classes, then among the varnas, there are 4 classes: brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha and sannyas. The sannyas is the topmost order of human society. Here, the Sukadeva Goswami, he is a sannyasi. He is renounced order from the very beginning of his life. He never entered into any ashram or varna. He is Paramahamsa. Paramahamsa means the topmost among the sannyasis. Sannyasi is the topmost. Within the sannyasi, the Paramahamsa is the topmost. The sannyasis are also, they are called Kutichak, Bahudak, Paribrajagacharya and Paramahamsa. Kutichak means after accepting sannyas order, one has to accept the sannyas order. After grihastha, there is vanaprastha and then sannyas. Brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyas. In the beginning, especially the brahmanas and the kshatriyas, 2 classes, higher classes, they are to take sannyas at the end. If not, at least the brahmanas must take sannyas. The brahmanas have got 4 ashrama: brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha and sannyas. The kshatriyas have got 3 ashrama: brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, no sannyas. And the vaishyas, 2 ashrama: brahmachari, grihastha, neither vanaprastha nor sannyas. And the shudras, they are simply one, grihastha, that's all. This is the Vedic order. So, because it is very difficult to maintain sannyas in this age, therefore the sannyas order is completely prohibited. Real sannyasi means, here is the description of life. What is that? Chirani king napati santi. They have to pick up some torn cloth lying on the street and cover them. That's all. Then this Dishanti bhikshang naivang gripa. Angripa. Angri means legs and pa means drinking. The trees drink water through the root, that is their leg. Therefore their another name is Angripa. Pivati iti pa, and Angri means leg. So different species of life, there is different process of eating. We are eating through mouth. The trees are eating through the legs. This is God's creation. Not that the mouth is the only eating vehicle. No. There are other senses, active senses, hands and legs, tongue. These are active senses, genital, rectum, these are active sense. So, Angripa means trees. The sannyasi should depend completely on God. That is sannyasi. Not that I shall go to a rich man and beg something and take money and utilize it. No, that is not required. Completely independent. Because that kind of sannyas is not possible at the present age, therefore, generally, sannyas should not be accepted. They cannot follow the prohibited. But so far our Krishna consciousness movement is there. We are not like that Mayavadi sannyasi. Our sannyasis completely devote life for serving Krishna. Sannyas means Sat Nas. Nas means to give up. And Sat Om Tat Sat, the absolute truth. So, for the service of the absolute Krishna, we give up our family life. Our family life means to give up the whole world. Because people are struggling hard just to maintain the family. That is also stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Nidra hyati naktam babayana cha babaya vivacharte hayarajan kutumbam bhagani nava. This is materialistic life. What is that? At night, nidraya, if one can get the opportunity of sleeping 24 hours, he thinks he is very much gainer. Especially on Sunday. So, this is materialistic one too, it is gain. In Calcutta, we have seen, there are office peons. They take letters in peon book, and those who have gone to Calcutta, there is a Dalhousie Square, there is downtown square. They take the peon book and letter, come to the Dalhousie Square and lie down and sleep up to 4 o'clock. Then they will return to the office, and if the master asking, why you are so late? No, this man was not there, I could not find, what can I do? I have to wait. But he has spent his time by sleeping. So he thinks that I am getting so much salary, so if I do not work, if I sleep, that is my gain. That is extra profit. So, that is material life. So material life means nidya hyati naktam. At night, they want to sleep as much as possible. Or those who have got facility, then they utilize sex life. Nidra hyati naktam babayana cha. Babayana means sex. Baya, in this way, wasting time. The whole 12 hours or 10 hours wasted. And during daytime, diva charte haya rajan, diva cha arte ihaya, where is money? Where is money? Just like in your country. Then from early in the morning, 5:30, the road is congested. people are going to working place. Why? For seeking money. Money. Where is money? Jivacharte haya rajan. Then when he gets money, then spend it for sense gratification, for family maintenance. So in this way, materialistic person wastes their time, day and night. So, where is time? Ask any materialistic person, why don't you come to our temple, sir? Why don't you hear Bhagavad Gita? We have no time, because they are wasting time in that. You see? So, this is the materialistic life. And spiritualistic life means that one should be trained up as brahmachari, then regulated life in grihastha, regulated life. Grihastha is not bad. Family life is not bad. Therefore it is called grihastha ashram. Ashram means, this very word is meant where spiritual cultivation is practiced. That is called ashram. So it may be household life, it may be renounced order of life, it may be brahmachari, student's life, or retired life. The spiritual culture must be there. That is human civilization. If there is no spiritual culture, that is not human society. There is animal society. The cats and dogs, they have no spiritual culture. So, in the spiritual culture, the renounced order should be only dedicated for the service of the Supreme Lord, not for taking easy money from others and utilize for sense gratification. That is not renounced. This is the purpose of this verse. If somebody says that if I do not get some money, then how I shall live? To answer this question, Sukadeva Goswami says that why you are anxious for your maintenance? What do you want for your maintenance? I want an apartment, I want clothing, I want food, I want water, and so many things. This is necessary. Therefore he says, all right, if you want cloth, then don't you find cloth, torn cloth thrown in the street? Chirani king napati santi. Don't you find? All right, I can pick up some cloth. That's all right. Then where is my food? The Sukadeva Goswami says, Naivang kripa parabhito bhikshangna dishanti. The trees, formerly trees mean fruit trees. They used to go to jungle, mean there are enough fruits. Still there are so many jungles. In Hawaii there are so many jungles, enough fruit, mango, papaya, and many other, banana, then pineapple, guava, so many fruits. So going to the jungle means to be free from food problem, enough food. And then water, the water is river. Therefore it is said, Saritopi asussan. Do you think that all the rivers are dried up? Enough water. Then you may say that I must require some pot to take the water. No, you take water like this. You drink. Then what shall I leave? Ruddha guha kim? Do you think all the caves of the mountain, they are now closed? There are many caves. If you want at all a shelter, there are natural rooms, apartment. You can live there. Ruddha Guhakim. And above all, Sukdev Goswami says, Kim ajita avati no upasannyan. No avati. Upasannan means those who have surrendered. Ajita, God's another name is Ajita. A means not. And Jita means conquer. Nobody can conquer God. That is God. God is never conquered by anyone. He conquers everyone. God is conquered by His devotee only, not by the demons. The demons are conquered by God. But a devotee can conquer. Ajitopi, jitopi. Although God is Ajita, He becomes Jita, means conquered, by His devotee. That is also stated. Sane sthita sutigatang tanuvang manovi prayena ajitopi jitapasi stais tilakyam. This process we have introduced, opening center, that is the system spiritual. To hear. Sani sthita suti gatang tanuang manovi. Suti means this ear. Oral listening. Everyone may remain in his own position. It doesn't require to change. Just like one gentleman was asking me whether for spiritual advancement one has to live in the temple. I said, no, there is no such hard and fast rule that one should live in the temple. He can live anywhere. But the spiritual practices should be performed. Krishna never says that you live in the temple or you go to the jungle or Himalaya. Never said. You will never find in the Bhagavad Gita that Krishna says, Arjuna, that you give up this fighting and go to the jungle or to the Himalaya and become a perfect person. No. Krishna says, Manmana bhava mad bhakta mad jajimang namaskuru. You follow these principles. Always think of me, Manmana, mad bhakta, you become my devotee. Manmana bhava mad jaji, you worship me. And offer your obeisances and these four things. You can do anywhere. It doesn't matter. But you do all these things. Narottam Das Thakur says, Griheba bonete thako hagaurango bole dako. Either you remain as a grihastha with family, wife, children, it doesn't matter. Or either you live in the forest, that sannyasi, renounced, in whichever position you prefer. You can remain, but do these things. Manmana bhavamad bhakta madhyajiman. So here Sukdev Goswami advises, this is very important word, Kim ajita na avati upasanyan. Ajita, the Supreme Lord, Krishna, he is maintaining everyone. Yoga khemang bahama. And he will not maintain a person who has fully surrendered to him. No, how it can be? Suppose a gentleman is maintaining so many other children and he does not maintain his own children. Surely he does. Therefore our principle should be we should not think about our personal maintenance. We should dedicate our life for Krishna, and Krishna will take care of it. That should be the principle. Don't be harassed, thinking always how I shall be maintained. That is not the problem. Maintenance is not problem. Real problem is how we shall be fully surrendered to Krishna. That is what. Upasannan. Upasannan means those who are surrendered. So, if we are fully surrendered souls, then there is no problem for our economic advancement. That is automatically will be done. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yogo Kshemam Bahami Aham Tesam Nityavijuktana Yogo Kshemam Bahami Aham. He personally takes care. He is taking care of others also. Nobody is dying for want of food. This is a misconception. Everyone is getting food according to his capacity. There are 8,400,000 species of life. Out of that, 8 million are lower grade life. Fishes, plants, insects, trees, Jalajanavalokkhani, Thavara, Lokkavinshati. 8 million. They have no business, they have no means of other income. By nature, they are getting there, all supplies. So why not the human being? Even the uncivilized human being, they are living in the jungle. They have no business, they have no source of income, but still they are getting food. Similarly, why the civilized man should be so much anxious for their maintenance? It is due to lack of Krishna consciousness, therefore they are thinking, how I shall be maintained. The maintenance is already there. Simply, you have to work little. You just till the ground or the field and sow some seeds, and naturally, in due course of time, one seed will give you thousands. So if you little work, then there is no question of scarcity of foodstuff. Krishna has given everything. So our main business should be how to develop our dormant Krishna consciousness. That is our first business. Tasyaiva heta prajateta kovi. Everyone should endeavor. We have lost our Krishna consciousness. Therefore, we have got so many problems in life. If you revive your Krishna consciousness, all problems will be solved. That is a song sung by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. কেন মায়ার বসে যাচ্ছ ভেসে খাচ্ছ হাবু ডুবু ভয় জীব কৃষ্ণ দাস এ বিশ্বাস করলে তো আর দুঃখ নেই. It is very instructive that we are being carried away by the waves of this material nature, and sometimes we are drowned, sometimes we are up. In this way, manasasthani indriyani prakritisthani karsati. We are struggling for existence in this way, in this material world. In this way, we are being carried away by the waves of time. That is pointed out by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Mayar base jaccha bhes, khacha habudu. Then, yes, I am actually in this position. How to save me? Jiv Krishna das evishas kolle karga. If you believe, this is the fact, you believe or not believe. This is the fact. What is that? I am eternal servant of Krishna. I am eternal servant of Krishna. You simply revive your knowledge. We are not master. Jeev Krishna Das Vishwas Kallikar Dukkhana. So if we revive this Krishna consciousness and engage in the service of the Lord, then there is no more any problem. That is instructed throughout the whole Bhagavad Gita, in many places, in many ways, that you surrender to Krishna. That is the only instruction. At last it is clearly said, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam. That is clearly said. In another place it is said, Daivid Jesa Gunamai Mama Maya Durutte Mameva Japrapadanti Mayame Dan Saranti. The waves of material nature, time, is very, very stringent. Mayadvasi Jatravasi. And Krishna also says the same thing in a different language. Devi, he, Esa, Gunamai, Mama Maya, Durutvaya. You cannot surmount the waves of material nature. Prakita Kiramanani, Gunai Karamani Sarva. Ahankara Vimuratma, Krtaham iti manna. We are being carried away by the laws of nature. You cannot, you are thinking foolishly that you are independent. Everyone is under the stringent laws of material nature. That you cannot avoid. If I am a young man, I am thinking that I shall not become old man. I shall remain young man. That is foolishness. He must become old man. That is nature's answer. You cannot avoid it. Similarly, if you think that this is old body, when it is finished, everything is finished. No, it will not be finished. You will have to accept another body. This is material nature. These foolish men, they do not know it. They are thinking that I shall remain in this prosperous position throughout. No, sir. This is not prosperous position. It is all miserable condition. And even if you take it as prosperous position, you will not be allowed to stay. This is material nature. This is the problem. But foolish men, they do not know what is the real problem. They are busy in a small problem. The real problem is birth, death, old age and disease. So the opportunity is in this human form of life. So we should take advantage of this human form of life and solve these problems. And it can be solved very easily. That is Krishna consciousness movement. If you simply try to understand Krishna, what is this Krishna? Why he has come down? What is his purpose? What is his life? In this way, try to understand Krishna, and if you are sincere, Krishna will give you intelligence. Buddhi yogam dadamitam jino mam upajanti te. If you try to understand Krishna sincerely, then Krishna will give you intelligence how to understand him. And as soon as you understand him, you are liberated. Janma karma chadi bamme jivanati tattva. Tattade hang punarjanmani. That is liberation. Krishna says, and the process is to know him not by challenge. Krishna, what you are? Please tell me. Krishna is not your father's servant. You have to become servant first of all. Then Krishna will tell you. It is not challenge. It is my submission. You have to understand Krishna, and it is not very... That submission means Manmana bhavamad bhakta madhyaji maga namaskuru. Therefore Krishna is present here to accept your obeisances, to accept your worship, to accept, recognize you as devotee. Krishna is there. So follow the principles follow the instruction of a spiritual master, how to worship Krishna, how to offer him obeisances, how to think of him 24 hours. In this way, if we live very nicely, then time will come, we'll understand thoroughly Krishna, and as soon as we understand thoroughly Krishna, then immediately you are transferred to the spiritual world after giving us this body. Thank you very much.
Jai. I hope all of you enjoyed that lecture. I see Kaivalya Prabhu is still there. If you want to add something, Prabhu, and
yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. So very nice class by Srila Prabhupada. Lot of things, he discussed. But the thing I like most important is that we have to live very simply. The more opulently we live, our mind is more in materialistic things. So that thing really I like. Another thing I was amazed by the story he wrote about Haridas Thakur. That in the cave there was a serpent living, and he was living with that. He had so much faith of Krishna that one can live with a serpent. It's very hard for any human being. Only the great souls like Haridas Thakur can do that. And the serpent left when he was trying to live himself. The serpent. So how Krishna is merciful, we can imagine. But we have to have that kind of faith. So, all right, Mataji. So I will give chance to other people to. Everybody can say their own realizations. Thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
thank you, Prabhu. Anybody else? I like the way he said, Krishna has said in so many ways, so many times, he's hammering it into us and we are still struggling. We have to, get that education that we are not this body, and what we really need to feed is the soul. And what the soul needs is service to Krishna and surrender to Krishna. It's taken me a very long time to come to that realization, and to practice is going to take a lot longer. But that was my takeaway, is that is why we need to hear this constantly, because even after hearing it is taking us this much time. So it was very nice to hear him say that. Okay. So yes, everybody have a wonderful Krishna conscious day. Meditate on what Srila Prabhupada has said, and have faith. And we will see everybody tomorrow. The class will be from the temple room, and Kaivalya Prabhu is going to give class. So we'll see everybody at the happy hour this evening and tomorrow morning for another Bhagavatam class. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.